It's quite interesting because in some professions, like being a lawyer, I know teaching, I used to be a teacher, and burnout is so prevalent in those sorts of
Mm,
work environments because you're expected to stay late. If you don't
yes.
stay late, you're almost perceived as though you're not working hard at all or you're not
Yeah.
putting the extra effort, when actually you might just be working a normal amount, but you almost have to go the extra mile in those sorts of professions. What advice would you give to people in those situations that may be at risk of experiencing burnout because of their work culture?
Yeah, so if you are compromised on your sleep, and let's say you're working night shifts, then trying to get, a new routine, or routine is really key when it comes to sleep. So trying to get a sleep routine and sticking to it is key, because otherwise it will really affect your circadian rhythm, and that really affects your stress hormones and your sleep hormones. I don't know if you know how it works, but when you're sleeping, that's when melatonin is really released and it's surging through your bloodstream, telling you to fall asleep and get to sleep. And then conversely, when you wake up, cortisol is your get up and go hormone. It's your motivation hormone. It's meant to be high in the morning and low when we sleep. So they do this crossover effect. So, having routine with your sleep is fundamental. So making sure you're going to bed at the same time every night and waking up at the same time every morning is really key. And, trying to get that deep sleep, trying to get a window of 8 hours every night, trying to get to bed early if you can. So if your sleep is out of whack and you have to go to bed like in the morning because you're doing night shifts, just make sure you're getting a routine, you're sticking to it. Diet would be the secondary point to that. How can you control and manipulate your diet so that you're not really fatigued and you still got a lot of energy? So my advice would be to eat around the clock. Make sure you're eating every 3 to 4 hours and you're having adequate protein with every meal and snack. So not relying on coffee, not relying on sugars, which is obviously the number one thing that we always demand when we're stressed, because it's a dopamine hit and it makes us feel good and it's comforting. But I know that's what your body is craving, but actually you need to feed your body and give it what it needs. So slow release carbohydrates, swapping the refined carbohydrates for the slow release ones. So instead of having like biscuits and cakes, make sure you're having like brown rice, brown pasta, oats, lentils, chickpeas, vegetables. They are a powerhouse of nutrients, especially the dark green leafy vegetables. Making sure you're having protein at every meal and snack to balance your blood sugar levels and not have those dips. If you're skipping meals, this is another thing. I know that intermittent fasting has its place and it's very effective, but not if you're burning out and not if you're suffering with energy issues. So don't skip meals, eat around the clock, feed your body, give it what it needs. Food in is energy in, and people think that if they eat less and over exercise, they'll feel better. But for someone who's burning out, that's the worst thing that you can do.